Tonight on Around the Cooler, we'll explore if Auburn's offense can be a top 10 offense in the country. And is Texas worth the number one spot in the AP poll? Let's discuss Around the Water Cooler.
Yeah. Water Cooler Talk Sports. Around the Cooler. Saturday nights. Yeah, you know the deal. SEC pride. Yeah, we keep it real. From the plains to the grove, everybody knows it's Around the Cooler. We talk that score. Talk that score. Water Cooler Talk Sports Network. Every headline, every story. Around the Cooler where the fans all meet. We talk that score. This is Around the Cooler. Only on Water Cooler Talk Sports Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, man. It is your guys, man. I am Nick Fraser, Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us. The man is rocking with us, man. Tell him who you are, boss, man.
Man, it's your boy Marcus Fitzpatrick. Let's go. Let's get it, man.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us here around the water cooler here on Water Cooler Talk Sports Network, man. Thank y'all so much, man. Shout out to everybody rocking with us in the chat. At the Huggy Beard is with us in the chat. What's up, Huggy, man? How you feeling? Auburn Dad's in the chat as well. What's up, Auburn Dad? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling great. He letting us know 61 days and counting, gentlemen. 61 days and counting. Man, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Travell, the king of the comments, is in the chat. We talk that score. Yes, we do, man. What's up? Hey, you TJ. What's up, man?
TJ?
How you feeling, bro? How you feeling, man? We appreciate y'all so much, man. Marcus, you ready to get into this conversation? My bad. C Hall is in the chat.
C Hall.
C Hall. What up, my guy? Feeling good, man. And of course, man, the Huggy Beard is rocking with us as well, man. We already shouted out our guy at the Huggy. What is up, my guy? Marcus, you ready to get into this conversation tonight, man?
Let's do it.
Man, y'all know what it is, man. We about to go around the water cooler and we about to have us a great conversation, ladies and gentlemen. So let's lock in and let's get this thing rocking and rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. All right. As y'all know, man, Alex Golesh and is now the head coach of the Auburn Tigers. As you know, he's been at Tennessee, he's been at USF, and everywhere he's been, he has had the ability to turn the offenses around to where these offenses are able to become some of the most prolific offenses in college football. As you can see on the screen there, 2022 was his best year there as an OC, number one in scoring and number one in total offense. And then, of course, last season in 2025, had a 3,000-yard passer, 1,000-yard rusher at the quarterback position. And he had a number 2 and number 4 offense, respectively, when it comes to total offense and scoring offense. Marcus, the question I ask right now, man, is this: Can Alex Golesh in year one get this Auburn offense to what could be a top 10 offense in the country? In your opinion, can it be that?
Top 10, year one. I think it's going to be tough, but it's solely predicated on that offensive line and how they perform. If that offensive line performs up to par, I think he can, because he's bringing his skill position. He's bringing his quarterback that got him in the top 10 last year, and he has a room full of running backs with great potential. So I think that top 10 offense is definitely predicated on how these transfer pieces and this O-line gel. So can he? I would say top 20. Okay, I would say top 20. Yeah. Guaranteeing the top 10 with all this uncertainty on the offensive line. I can't say it in year one, man. I'm sorry, Auburn fan.
Let's talk about this, man. We keep talking about the offensive line, man. We keep talking about it. All is predicated on whether this offensive line does what it needs to do. Do you not think that this coach, him, Gordon, all of these guys that have been together for a period of time understands exactly what they need to do in order to probably scheme around the deficiencies of what the offensive line may not be able to do well? Even with that being an issue or even a level of concern, do we not think that this team, that this coach and this coaching staff on the offensive side of football can get them into that top 10 category? You don't think that, even with the questions at offensive line? Because that to me, the offensive line situation always seems like the easiest answer. You know, it always seems like the easiest answer for us to go to when this question is asked about the offense. It always predicated on the offensive line. And we understand that. But we have noticed that this is a coordinator. This is a guy that has been
Sometimes
with
the
his guy
easiest answer
Jordan
is
Gordon for a while. But I get that. I understand that. But we understand that this guy has been everywhere he's been, whatever the deficiencies were for that offense before, even if they had deficiencies and questions going into the season, the offense has performed well. So can we not, like, what will it take? What will it take for Auburn fans and for people that talk about this, be like, all right, yeah, this will be a top 10 offense, at the end of the season when it's all said and done?
well, going back to what you were just saying about the offensive line. Sometimes the obvious answer is the easiest answer, Nick. As
Okay.
you went to the game and you seen you went to the spring game and you was one of the first people to point out the O-line, deficiencies.
Oh, wait a
So,
minute. Wait. Let's clear that up. I didn't say the whole line. I just said
oh, you
one
said
position.
one side. You said one
I said
side.
one position on the O line is what I said. Everything else to me was okay. It seemed serviceable to me. That's just me.
Mm. To me, it's just too uncertain to just to bet on it. To me, I do trust this offensive staff, but like I said, I think it'd be a top 20 offense. I just think right now, I think they're building towards having that O line and having that top 10 offense, as you can see with his recruiting. But right now, I think it's too early for me to tell, man. It's too like this is he had to do a whole overhaul on the O line. So it's just me
Go ahead.
and you both know how serious that position is. So and Auburn fans know, like, we just watched the tackle that couldn't hear the snap count and we got embarrassed for this top part of the season. So it's just like, for me, it's just I need to see it before I bet on it.
Bubba from Bubba and the Old Man Auburn
What's up,
Sports Talk, man.
Bubba?
Everybody,
What
make sure
up,
y'all
bro?
pray for Bubba, man. Bubba having a little bit of a medical situation. Make sure that y'all pray for him, man. Keep
What's
him in your
up?
prayers. He
Prayers,
said, I
bro.
firmly believe Alex Golesh will manufacture a way to make the offense effective, but a top 10 offense requires an above average offensive line. He said it needs an above average offensive line.
Facts,
All right,
bro.
I ask you this. I ask this. I'm gonna ask this question to you, and I'm gonna ask this question to the chat. Do you think Tennessee had an above average offensive line last year, or do you think Tennessee had an average offensive line last year? Now, I want to preface this. I want to preface this by saying this: Deshaun Bishop was 1,000-yard back last year. Okay,
Yeah,
he was
I
1,000-yard back, but he was underneath 1,100 yards. Jeremiah Cobb could have been 1,000-yard back, and he was only like 32, 36 yards away from being at the 1,000-yard mark. So, with their offensive line being able to have 1,000-yard rusher and Auburn's offensive line last year, and we know what the problems were with that team last year, almost literally less than 40 yards away from being 1,000-yard rusher. Do you look at that and say, even with them having to be an above average offensive line, that it could be a top 10 offense in the country? Now, I preface that by saying Tennessee had one of the top offenses in the SEC last year. I don't know exactly where they ended up in the country. I'm going to say that they ended up right on the cusp of somewhere being around that somewhere between that 10 to 20 mark. I'm going to say that. I got to research that. But even with looking at that and you seeing Tennessee from last year, do you think with Tennessee's average offensive line, if Auburn can do that this upcoming season, could they be a top 10 offense?
I just feel like with that type of offensive line, you're going to need someone to step up. And if it's the quarterback, if it's the running back, we have a stable of running backs. But for this first year, for him to be top 10, going back to what Bubba said, this offensive line has to play better than advertised. I'm sorry, because we're going to have to pass the ball at some point. We're going to have people to stack the box, and this offensive line is going to have to show that they can really pass block, that they can communicate and have strong chemistry down the line, and show great durability going forth down the season.
You talk about throwing the football. You talk about throwing the football, and I get that. I understand that. I understand that you talk about when we throw the football. But could Byrum Brown's, like, let's and everybody wants to talk about history of Auburn. When you look at the history of Auburn, right, and you look at what Auburn did, the last time Auburn had 1,000-yard rusher and quarterback and running back was 2013 with Nick Marshall and Trey Mason. If I'm not mistaken, that was a top 15 offense nationally. I'm pretty sure it was one of the top offenses in the SEC, if I'm not mistaken. So even with Byrum Brown's ability to be a rusher, do you not think that is something that could actually propel them to be at that cusp of being a top 10? Like, I mean, you mentioned passing the ball, but I'm saying, like, could this be the type of season where we see that all they have to do is run the football, and that could be the most dangerous part about this offense, and that offense ends up being a top 10 offense?
To your point, that's what I was thinking about this offense, but I don't think, like I said, that's top 20 to me. That's not top 10. Like at top 10 offense, you got to be able to pass the ball efficiently. I think we do lean on the run. I think that's what is his workaround to the deficiencies of this O-line. I think we lean on the run. I think we are very run heavy. I think we pick and choose the situations that we want to pass. I think it looks good on paper. I think it looks top 10-ish, but stat-wise, it'd be top 20 before the end of the season if everything goes according to plan.
James Barnett, shout out to our guy James Barnett, man. Rock with he said this team will have a top 10 offense. And had he had a top 10 offense everywhere he has been, yes, he has. The thing that was missing for AG was a top 10 defense. He possibly has both now, just my opinion. Do you agree with that statement, Marcus?
Year one, I feel like he's building towards it. Like I said, you can see it in his recruiting. He's building up his deficiencies through the O-line. You also see he has a young quarterback. He has a lot of young pieces who will be back on that offense next year. Like I feel like next year, yes. Right now, it's just still up in the air for me. Like I think, like I said, best case scenario, top
20. Okay. Bubba said to the Tennessee question, Bubba said, were they above average talent-wise? No, but they tailored the system to create above average results. Sometimes it's not about talent overall. It is more about how you display the talent. That's my question. That's my thing. So, and that's the question that I asked at the beginning of this segment. I asked, do you not think that this staff will be able to scheme around what a lot of people are saying is a deficiency in the offensive line with this? Like, yes, to Bubba's point here, yes, I don't think talent-wise that they had the most talented offensive line. They had a very solid offensive line, Tennessee did, but Josh Heupel and those guys were able to scheme around those deficiencies, getting the ball out quick, leaning heavily on the run game, and to that, having a 1,000-yard receiver and a 1,000-yard back. I believe the only SEC school the only SEC school to have a 1,000-yard back and a 1,000-yard receiver last year. So I asked the question again, with what Alex Golesh has done and what he has done everywhere else, his track record, can he come to Auburn and produce a top 10 offense? Well, you know what? You say you don't think so. You say potentially next year. Okay. If you say potentially next year, that means you don't have faith. That tells me that there's a red flag to you about what he's bringing over at quarterback then, because this quarterback has been in the system for the past 2 seasons.
No. I think in my mind, I think that's the most stable. The thing about it is, going back to what we were just saying earlier, I think with all else failed, he knows how to coach this quarterback. If the passing is not working, if situations in the game where they're stacking the box, he's going to figure out how to get that offense moving with his quarterback. But for me to say top 10, that has to be a very efficient. It has to look very fluent. And at times I think he's gonna have to outcoach coaches, and it ain't gonna look pretty all the time.
So you don't think so? Do you believe in his ability to be able to outcoach other coaches then?
Yes, of course. That's the reason why I'm high on him. That's the reason why we brought him in. If he can't, we're in trouble.
Mario Cannon said, man, I agree with the O-line being a weak link in the chain. That'll hinder the overall offense being elite. But we have everything in place. So if the O-line is consistent, there's no reason we won't be. I agree with that. I agree with that statement. I feel what he's saying. I agree with it to a degree. Phil Will, shout out, man. Feeling myself. What up, my guy? Phil Will. The top 10 offense means a lot of yards and points. Brown would have to be good to great this season for that to happen. Okay. I mean, I look at that and I think there's a possibility that he could do that. I think he could do that, man. Last comment before we get up out of this thing, James Barnett said, fellas, are we hesitant to say because of who left or because we have USF players? AG schemes around his talent, and is that schemes or schemes? I think you meant to say schemes around his talent, and he possibly has a Heisman caliber quarterback. Schemes around his talent. Schemes around his talent. I want to say, I'm pretty sure he meant to say scheme around his talent. And he possibly has a Heisman caliber quarterback. The run game will be elite, which is the question I asked. Could you just lean on this run game this upcoming season to a top 10 offense? I mean, like, I just look at it. I just ask the question, man. I look at it and I say, I think you can. I think you can, bro. I think if your run game becomes so dangerous, teams are going to have to respect it. That is going to open up the passing game for the rest of the season, in my opinion. And then next thing you know, guess what? You're going to be a balanced offense. Now it's going to open up the playbook for you to do whatever you want to do. So I think there's a little bit of chess in this, and I think that there's a little bit of something that to where this offense has the ability to be that and be a balanced offense, man. So yeah, man, let us know what y'all think in the comments, man. Will Auburn have a top 10 offense in year one under Alex Golesh and Joel Gordon with Byrum Brown at quarterback? Tell us what you think, man. If you're watching us live right now, a lot of y'all have already said so. If you're watching us on the rewatch, let us know that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, do me this one favor, man. The pregame playlist, Monday through Friday, 9 Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. Check this out, man. Come check this out, man. Your morning.
The pregame playlist is your new morning destination. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. Your morning, your sports, your playlist.
Everybody wants to look like a star when they step out, including you. Hollywood Media has you covered, from clean portraits, corporate events, and athletic events. Hollywood Media has you covered. These aren't just pictures. This is your moment. Follow now on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media with 2 A's. Follow on Facebook at Hollywood Media. Feel like the star you are.
In the SEC, every game and every fan matters. Welcome to SEC Season, the ultimate interactive channel. Catch Launch Breaks with Tez, Tuesday to Thursday at 12:30. And SEC Season Live, Tuesday nights at 7:30. More than a channel, it's a community. Connect and debate with the most passionate fans in college sports. Subscribe today and join the Keyboard Collective. Subscribe to these YouTube channels. You won't regret it.
Yo, welcome back to Around the Cooler, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us here on Water Cooler Talk Sports Network, man. Lane Kiffin becomes the head coach at LSU on November 30th, 2025. And, of course, you see the video there with the tarmac and everything that happened there. Lane Kiffin apparently has an affinity for tarmacs. And then that same day, Pete Golden was promoted to full-time head coach, not interim status, nothing of that nature. Pete Golden became the full-time head coach of the Ole Miss Rebels. And now you see the swap that happened on November 30th. It seems as if Ole Miss had a feeling something like this was going to happen, and they took matters into their own hands, and they came out on the other end and tried to keep some continuity going, man. Marcus, I want to ask you this question flat out before we get into this conversation, man. In the long run, which school will have the better outcome? Will it be Lane Kiffin at LSU, or will it be Pete Golden in Ole Miss, in your opinion?
That's such a difficult question on multiple levels, man. Because I feel like if Lane wins, LSU gonna pour money into Lane. Ole Miss, I feel like Ole Miss, I think Pete Golden gonna hang around just because Ole Miss is Ole Miss. But long term, I'm gonna say Pete Golden, man. I think if Lane Kiffin doesn't win, and he doesn't win soon or very quick in LSU, that experiment gonna go stale, and the boosters gonna start screaming very soon.
Whoa, you going Pete Golden? I was not expecting you to go Pete Golden, man, because I'm going Pete Golden too. But you going Pete Golden? Oh my God! What's the reason? So you going Pete Golden? You going Pete Golden for the simple fact because you think that Lane Kiffin is on a leash, a shorter leash to win now.
Yes, I think he's on a shorter leash, and I don't think with his track record that he does. I don't think he wins the national championship at LSU.
Okay, all right. So let's look at it from a different perspective. Look at it from a different perspective. Lane Kiffin left before playoff run, right? Nobody was expecting this Ole Miss team to do what it did in the playoffs last year. Of course, I think a lot of people expected them to beat Tulane because they beat them early in the season. So I think a lot of people expected them to at least win that game. But then they played Georgia. I don't think nobody expected them to beat Georgia in the playoffs, even though early on in the season last year, they went to Georgia and had a 12-point lead going into the fourth quarter. And then the offense just kind of sputtered. I think Trinidad Chambers was like 1 for 9 in the fourth quarter for like less than 13 yards or something like that. And they allowed Georgia to just get back in the game. Offense could stay on the field. Defense had to stay on the field for majority of that fourth quarter. But Pete Golden was able to kind of corral the troops, and he was kind of able to set up something to where they were able to go out and win that game against Georgia, and then come within 18 to 21 seconds of playing for a national championship if they would have beat Miami. So with Pete Golden showing you that he was able to win 2 playoff games and then come within less than 21 seconds away from playing for a national championship, you don't think that there's pressure on Pete Golden to win at Ole Miss now?
In my mind, all right. So John, I think what is John David Baker?
John David
Baker,
the All-American offensive coordinator.
The new offensive coordinator. He was in the system.
He was in the system. He was in the system with them. Yes, he was.
Yeah, he got All-American name. Yeah, and quote me if I'm wrong, Nick. Charlie Weiss, Jr. coached that Georgia game, right? As the OC.
Charlie Weiss Jr. coached throughout the playoff run as the offensive coordinator. He did.
So, like, to me, man, what he brings to the table is what people is not taking into account at LSU.
But John David Baker was part of that offensive staff.
I understand what you're saying, but Charlie Weiss is very good at adjustments and X's and O's. So to me, I think Pete has a great chance, and I think like you don't have to win it all. The reason why I say Pete will be there longer because you don't have to win a national championship at Ole Miss.
What? They were literally less than 21 seconds away from playing for one. So you don't think the expectations have risen on their program now, especially with the amount of money that's being poured into it?
And you see how excited they got for it. And you see,
Marcus, you breaking up, bro. You breaking up.
I thought it was me.
No,
all right.
You, Marcus.
Any football fan knows LSU has more championship.
There we go. Ant, what's going on, my guy? Ant, you in here? What's your thoughts on this, man? What's your thoughts on this? Does there more pressure on Pete Golden at Ole Miss in order for them to win football games right now?
Man, no, it's more pressure on Lane Kiffin because it's not what I get what Marcus was trying to say because LSU already has championship expectations and Ole Miss is new to the party, but LSU also has a lot of people with their hands in the pot right now. So you think that they brought Lane in just because? No, they want Lane to win a title this year. And the governor, the AD, and whoever else got their hands in that pot made sure that Brian Kelly was getting up out of there. Let's not forget, the man had a winning season. The man took LSU to the SEC title game his first year. Track to winning 8-9 games last year, and they fired him. So that should tell you right now, like It's more pressure at LSU than Ole Miss.
Yep.
I get that, but shouldn't bruh, let's talk about this. When you get close to being able to hoist the championship, right? When you get close to that, and you see yourself at almost the pinnacle of being able to call yourself a champion, and with the amount of money that Ole Miss has been pouring into their program, I don't think, and the fact, and here's a fact as well too. In the last 5 to 6 seasons, you can make an argument that Ole Miss has been a better football program than LSU. That is an argument that you can make based on what results on the field have been and things of that nature. You can make an argument that Ole Miss has been a better football program. So when you look at what has been done at Ole Miss, of course they haven't played for an SEC championship, but they have made the college football playoff. LSU hasn't made the college football playoff. Ole Miss has, and in this era of college football, that is the pinnacle of where you're trying to get to. Correct? That's the pinnacle of where you're trying to get to. You're trying to get to the fact of, you know what? We want to be, we try to be a playoff team. Now, granted, yes, Lane Kiffin had a lot to do with that. Also, the amount of money that was being poured into that program had a lot to do with that as well, because everybody knows the Grove Collective was a very established collective before that. They were ahead. They were ahead of the NIL game before a lot of other schools. So Lane Kiffin deserves credit for that. I'm not taking that away from him. But even with that, that doesn't just mean just because Lane Kiffin is gone, the expectations of the program are just going to die down or going to fade away. Like, even with Lane Kiffin not being there, even with that happening, guess what? You went out and you hired another coach, or you promoted another coach who you feel as if can continue to take that legacy on and take what you're building there, continue it and build it up. And this coach that you just hired is the one that actually took you further in the playoffs when everybody was doubting. I
would say, hey, which one can have a losing season next year and still be cool?
I don't think either one of them can have a losing season next year and be cool. That's my point.
I think Ole Miss can have a losing season next year and they still be optimistic about.
No, they can't be, bro. Okay, all right. I think the reason why and here's my take on. I'm gonna give an analogy. If Auburn had not won a national championship in 2010, do you think we will feel the way that we feel right now about Auburn football? We would still be saying, okay, we got an opportunity to get better. We have an opportunity to do this. We have some good teams, but you have not won a national championship. Auburn is one of what is it? I think since
5, 6.
something like that. It's one of only a handful of schools who have won a national championship out of all of the FBS schools. So that puts you in a different tier of conversation. Now that you have the college football playoff, now when you're looking at it and saying, all right, this team was a college football playoff team, when you have that type of expectation, it's different now, bro. It's different. And especially with a team that was just literally less than 21 seconds away from playing for a national championship. And they have Keywan Lacey and Trinidad Chalmers coming back this season. You telling me that if that team loses, you telling me Ole Miss fans are just gonna be okay with that? I don't think so, bro.
It's like I said, though, Nick, they new to the party. Like,
thank you.
But that doesn't mean anything, though.
No.
Just because you new to it doesn't mean anything. That resets the standards. That resets the standards of your program. You just brought up Indiana. That resets the standards of the program at Indiana now. You are a team. You won a national championship. So now our expectations are championships. That's all it is. Or getting close to it.
So look, this is why I keep saying they're new to the party. It's only been 6 SEC teams to win a title. As great as the SEC is, you got us, Bama, Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, LSU, right?
I hear you, Ant.
So LSU has been there, done that twice. Ole Miss just now getting here.
But that don't mean nothing.
We'll expand it in a 3-year span. If one of these teams have 2 losing seasons, which one you think gonna get fired first?
All right, so I'm gonna give you.
Exactly.
No. I'm gonna hit this topic. I'm gonna hit this, and then we're gonna get out of here. SMU went to the college football playoffs, right?
Yes, sir.
SMU went to the college football playoff year before last. They didn't make it this past season. They went year before last. Do you think, with the amount of investment that went into SMU's program, that they are just okay with not making it to the college football playoff and being a team that's in the conversation all the time? Or are they going to use the excuse of, man, we just new to the party?
I don't hear nobody calling for their coach job no time soon.
Bro, what? Are you serious, bro? Are you serious? Are you serious? Oh, my God, bro. Y'all, hey, get outside the SEC. Get outside of the SEC, man. Get outside of the SEC. Get outside of the SEC, bro. Get outside of the SEC, man. And he just got in this, and you know what that extension means? Win. If he does not win within the next couple of seasons, guess what? He's gonna be gone. That's what that extension means. There's an expectation now because you took this team somewhere we ain't been in a long time.
So he got to win that means. He got to win a national championship.
Just because they're new to it does not mean that there's not an expectation to it. Do you think Indiana right now is sitting here saying, all right, if we miss the playoffs next year, we cool?
Yes.
But they knew to what?
Yes. I really do.
Country, come here. Kid Country, come here. Give me your thoughts on this before we get out of here. Give me your thoughts on this, Kid Country, before we get out of here. Come on.
He don't want to hear me out, Marcus.
I can get both sides of it. And if you think about it, Auburn kind of was in that same scenario what Nick is referring to.
Thank you.
You take Gus Malzahn that took you to a national championship in 2013. Nobody remembers. Going in that 2017 year, Gus was on the hot seat, man.
I know.
You know, that's what 3 years removed from being in the national championship game. So this man was finna lose his job if he wouldn't have had those miraculous wins against Georgia and Alabama, you know. And he maneuvered his way into a payday by just beating old team, you know, because Arkansas wanted him bad at the time, and that was the biggest mistake of his career, signing with Auburn and not going on to Arkansas, because he had burnt bridges at Auburn anyway. But it's this day of football, man. Things have changed, man. You have to think about all the millions that's being invested into these programs. So it's either it's like what they say at the playoff time, it's win or go home now. You know, you don't get to take me to the playoffs 1 year, and now for the next 2-3 years I'm on the outside looking in.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's my point.
Nick, actually, he made my point, and I don't mean to cut you off, kid. And I don't mean to cut you off, kid. Thank you so much for making my point. Nick,
here we go.
In 2017, like you said, we were okay, and Kid Country just said it. We were okay with winning certain games. We didn't win a national championship.
No, we were not. Auburn fans were not okay with just winning 7-8 games.
He not get a contract extension.
No, they were not.
Did he not get a contract extension?
And there was an expectation on him to get back to the national championship game.
He got another one in 2019. And he still didn't get one.
Oh my God, bro! Oh my!
But my whole thing is,
what extension did he get in 2019? He got fired in 2019, 2020.
Ole Miss would be content with getting games as long as Pete Golden up. They can win their rivalry games and be content with that.
I think y'all looking at this wrong, and we only got like 30 seconds because I gotta get out here and get to the y'all looking at this wrong, bro. When a team, if you are the coach of a team,
it happens all the time, Nick.
If you are the coach of a team, bro, and now all of a sudden you have made it to somewhere that you haven't been before, and you get a taste of it, you're gonna be like, oh man, I need to get back. I give you an example. The first time I flew first class, right? I was like, yeah, I ain't sitting back there no more. No. That ain't happening, because when you get to first class, you get all this other stuff. You get the bigger chair, you get the comfortable stuff, you get all of this extra stuff, and there is a standard that you sit that you set in your head, and now you have to work yourself to get to that standard.
So if you
there's a standard when you get to a certain level, of expectation. When you drop below that, you get where we at right now with Auburn. People
Question:
complain
so
about what's going on.
if you can't fly first class, do you not fly? If you still had to make a trip,
I drive my own car. Is what I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's not the argument, though, Nick.
Is what I do. That's what it is. Man, we gotta
That's
get out of here,
not the
man.
argument.
We gotta get out. That is the argument. That is the argument, Ant.
You saying, hold on. The argument is which one you said will be quickest to get fired.
That was not the question. The question was who has the more pressure. That's what I said. That was the question.
I thought who would be that longer. I thought that was the question. What Ant said.
Well, yeah, we started out who would be that longer, but then that's what happened.
Peter be that longer because it's more pressure on Lane.
That's all I was saying.
And my question was, do you not feel? And my rebuttal to that was, do you not think there's more pressure on Pete Golding because of what has happened with Ole Miss in the past in with this season? They got somewhere where they haven't been before. That's all I'm saying.
And my answer is no. They'll be content with winning certain games at Ole Miss.
Okay.
My rebuttal
Ladies and gentlemen, you tell us in the comments what y'all think. Is there more pressure on Lane Kiffin or is there more pressure on Pete Golding to continue winning because they haven't been anywhere where they haven't been before? You tell us what you think in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. And when we come back, we're going to talk some more score. Because we're going to keep talking that score. This is what you get around the water cooler here on Water Cooler Talk Sports. Let's go. Still to come. Should Texas be the #1 team when the AP poll comes out? We'll talk about it. More to come on Around the Cooler.
Game day just got sweeter with DOICH, the delicious, high-protein snack that's plant-based, gluten-free, dairy-free, and low in sugar. Visit DOICHFoods.com and use discount code WCTS for 20% off your order. That's DOICHFoods.com, code WCTS for 20% off.
Game day starts with great food. At Adeline's by Chef Country, we bring championship flavor to every plate. From slow-smoked ribs to barbecue favorites, feeding the family or the tailgate, make Adeline's your first stop before kickoff. Life moves fast. Protect the people you love. Secure your future with life insurance. Or build generational wealth through real estate. Freddie Metro is here to help with trusted guidance. Protecting families, building legacies, creating wealth. Call Freddie Metro now.
Yes! Let's go! Whew. Yeah. Oh, yes! Let's go!
Yo, welcome back to Around the Cooler, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us, man. Auburn had a guy come in the portal, man. Guy from Hampton, Michael Matthews Canty. Career 102 tackles, roughly about 5.5 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks in his career. He wasn't highly touted coming out of high school. Had a offer from Syracuse, but he comes into this linebacker room, 6'3", 215-pound linebacker, who has the ability to potentially come in and get some real run and some real play in his defense under under DJ Durkin. I'm gonna ask you this question real quick, Marcus, man. Could he potentially be the breakout player on defense this year that Auburn looks at? And could he be that guy that can come in and be the guy that we look at the end of the season and be like, that's the kid right there that we can look at for the season? I mean, at the end of the season, be like, he was the one that ended up doing something great for this Auburn defense. What's your thoughts?
Yes, I actually do think that. And well, I would say he's one of the guys who's currently not on our radar to be that guy. Because I would say my breakout player and comeback player would be DeMarcus this year, Marcus Riddick. But if we're looking at the guys who we really don't talk about, who you really don't just see pop up on the page, if you watch film on this guy, if he gets the playing time, he might end up being a great rotational piece by the end of the season.
Big Sar says no. He says no, he won't be the breakout player. Phil Wills said no, he won't be either, man. Kid Country, your thoughts on that? Is Michael Matthews Canty a guy that potentially could be a breakout player on his defensive side of the ball this year for Auburn?
Nah, man. The deck too stacked in front of him, bro. It's gonna be hard for him to work his way into rotation. When you get a healthy Riddick back, you got Bryce Dees, you got the Toodles. It's gonna be hard. I don't see him. I see him more probably as a special team type player. Not to say he won't get no playing time, but man, that linebacker room is kind of loaded. So,
Can't argue that one.
man, you still got Melendez and Atkins. I mean, right now I say he might be what, the 6th linebacker in that room.
I mean, even with the way DJ Durkin rotates people in and out, it's surely at the beginning of the season, and the fact that a lot of people say that they are thin at the end and the edge position. You don't think he can find a way to get on the field in that capacity?
I'm saying he's a guy that you might can find some situational type packages for him. I mean, he might be a guy that, I don't know, when they go to a rabbit package or something like that, he might be a guy that can come off the edge. But I don't see him in my breakout player. For Auburn's sake, their breakout player better be Jared Smith. For Auburn's sake. If not, you're in trouble.
Dang, bro. They put it on.
Mad at
not Jared Smith. Auburn in trouble. And your thoughts on this, man? Is Michael Matthews Canty transfer from Hampton? Is he Auburn's secret weapon? Is he Auburn's breakout player, or are you saying somebody else has that? Are you saying somebody else is gonna have that mantra at the end of the season?
He can be, but I agree with Edward. I think the linebacker room is too loaded for that. I mean, the rotation that they have, he'll probably play, but again, it ain't gonna be where he can have 100-something tackles. Me personally, I think breakout player probably gonna go to Jared Smith, somebody like that, because I feel like you're gonna have to have that line gonna have to have that presence of a pass rusher.
Facts.
And those two might be very dynamic in that aspect. Your inside is gonna be stout, so you really don't have too much of a problem with your inside game. It's just we don't know who the pass rusher is gonna be yet. And if we get one, that'll be great. But if they can put those two in rotation and they make noise, oh man.
I'll say this. There was a young man by the name of Xavier Atkins who was a transfer from LSU last year to Auburn. And I don't know if there was a lot of expectations for him last year. Even though there were a lot of people at LSU that were kind of upset that he did transfer out. But I don't think a lot of people had expectations for him last year. Could we? I just asked the question. Could DJ Durkin strike goal again, strike lightning twice, and get his Xavier Atkins in his class with Michael Matthews? He got 2 years left, man. 6'3", 215 pounds. I think physically he has the ability to play at this level.
On a different situation from that though. It wasn't nothing to stop Atkins from getting on the field last year. Who did you have at linebacker? He had to play. That's the depth chart at linebacker. It looks a lot different now than what it did last year. If you ask me, because Riddick was hurt. So Atkins had to play last year. I'm not saying that he can't. I think the kid is talented. I think he's very talented, but I just don't. With Bright, we ain't even talking about these. I mean, that should be your linebacker breakout player, because he might be the most talented one in the whole room. So
exactly,
I just don't see it.
Okay, I mean, it's just a question. It's a fair question to ask. I mean, sometimes we talk about talent a lot, And it's taking nothing away from the guys that's in the room, but we talk about talent a lot and like that. But sometimes the hardest working person in the room is the one that actually ends up shining. And I've seen that from experience. So yeah, we talk about talent a lot of time. And like I said, not taking away nothing from anybody that's in that room. But sometimes I just look at it and I just say, man, could this kid get on the field? And when he gets on the field, it's gonna be hard to take him off, even if it's not at the linebacker position. What if it's at an edge or an end position, particularly that edge position where he could be coming off the edge or something like that? That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, could he get on the field and he flash, and then now all of a sudden we having a conversation about where does Matthews Canty fit in this defensive scheme with DJ Durkin and what they want to do there. So I don't know. I know a lot of people. The one thing that I heard some people talking about was the fact that he came from Hampton. I mean, I tell you this, man. I think dude, he had over 100 some tackles in his career in 2 seasons or something like that. I mean, somebody that can find the ball and get the ball, that's different. And the fact of the matter that the conversation of a guy that has that came from a smaller school and was able to thrive, we've seen it multiple times. We saw it with, and I think the most comparable one to this will probably be Trinidad Chambers at the quarterback position. He came in from Ferris State, a D3 school, and was able to come in. And when the quarterback got hurt for Ole Miss last year, he was able to come in and ball out and be just as effective. So I don't know. And then I mentioned Xavier Atkins. Xavier Atkins didn't play at LSU the year before that. He didn't get much playing time. So we didn't know exactly what we would get in there. He was just at LSU. He was just getting the bump because he came from an SEC school. But this guy actually played. Matthews Canty actually played. He has playing time. He has reps in football. So, I mean, and I think that matters as well. So Atkins he just needed opportunity apparently, and he got it and he took it. So I don't know, man. Fellas, y'all let us know in the chat what y'all think about it. Because I'm looking for that next breakout star on the defensive side of the football, a guy that's going to potentially that can carry this defense, moving forward and things and stuff of that nature. So yeah, let us know what you think there, man. Let us know. Oh, man, what guys at T Wolf, man. Also, make sure that you check out our guys DUBBY, who also helps bring Water Cool Talk Sports to you, and of course, NORDVPN, man. Check them out.
Breaking Auburn news, recruiting updates, insider conversations, the stories Auburn fans care about most. When something happens across the Auburn football landscape, Auburn Addicts is there. From recruiting battles and transfer portal movement to game analysis and the latest headlines, Auburn Addicts keeps you connected. Join Auburn fans every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Auburn Addicts. Auburn football. All the time.
Hit the link and try it now.
Click the link below to get NordVPN. That's the peace of mind you deserve.
Follow Water Cooler Talk Sports on social media.
Yo, welcome back to Around the Cooler here on Water Cooler Talk Sports Network, man. Josh Pate was talked on his show, and he said that he thinks that Texas will be the #1 team in the AP when the AP poll drops. Now, he did say that his #1 team, he will put Notre Dame there at #1. So I asked the question to the fellas on the panel right here, man. I asked y'all simple, man. Should Texas deserve to be the #1 team in the AP poll when it drops in the coming weeks? Start with you, Marcus.
If you talk about money that you put in the program, yeah. But for me, I would go Oregon, man. I just like Dante Moore. They bringing back 2 returning offensive line. I think that's the only real question mark that they got on their offense. They got 3 transfer portal pieces that they got to put in place. But the common storm of that is they got a great offensive line coach. They had great offensive line that finished top 5 in the last couple of years and top 5 offensive lineman of the year. They have a great front 7. So if you ask me, man, I'm going Oregon for my #1 team.
Oregon. Okay. Kid Country, your thoughts on that, man? Is Texas #1 in your opinion?
Man, first I gotta go back. I listened to you and Ted this morning. I listened to y'all.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. That was bad podcast some of y'all behalf. I didn't know no better. It felt personal with y'all against Arch. And
Yeah, because Arch is not good.
I'm just telling you this because I love y'all.
Yeah, because Arch is not good.
Man.
Yeah, because Arch is not good.
I want to call and tell you, Nick, stop it.
Yeah, because Arch is not good.
Just stop it, Nick.
Yeah, because Arch is not good.
You can't have that bias. You can't have that bias, kid.
I'm not. Yeah, you can't have the bias. Man.
You can't have the bias, man.
But I agree with you. Texas, to me, not the number one team in the country. I wouldn't even put Texas number one team in the SEC. If we're gonna be real, I wouldn't. I think it's not so much as Arch. I think it's some other question mark as far as defensively with them as well. I wouldn't put them over Georgia right here today. I would. If Georgia and Texas played week 1, neutral site, I would go with Coach Kirby Smart over Sarkisian anytime. But I was just messing with you about the podcast. I know how y'all feel about Arch. But, hey, I agree with you. They shouldn't be number one. They're not number one in the SEC. I don't think Texas could beat Alabama today. I'm just going to be real with you. If they played week 1, I would take Alabama over Texas. I got Texas probably the 3rd, maybe the 4th team in the SEC, man. 4th or 5th team. I don't know if Texas could beat Ole Miss. I don't. I'm not, I'm a Cam Coleman fan. Don't get me wrong. But like I say, I'm not a big Sarkisian guy.
I was just gonna say, I think it's a Sarkisian problem.
I think he gets too much credit to be a mediocre coach, if you ask me.
Facts. And
hey, you know what? I'm not even gonna push back on that because I have my thoughts on that. And your thoughts on this is Texas when the AP poll drops, should Texas be the number one team in the AP poll when it drops?
Over who?
Over everybody, buddy.
Over who?
Everybody. Number one, man.
I'm just telling you. Josh Pate said that he believes that when the AP poll comes out, they will put Texas at number 1. Even though he said that he will put, Notre Dame at number 1. But he said he believed the AP will put Texas at number 1.
Josh Pate must be smoking some good stuff to say Texas. Or I wouldn't even agree with Notre Dame, bro. For me, number 1, probably Ohio State, dog. Ohio State probably be number 1 for me. Because they really don't have too many weaknesses.
Okay.
And then you got to think about what they picked up in the transfer portal, picking up Rousseau and the other dude from Montgomery. I mean, Ohio State didn't do anything wrong or anything bad. So, Texas over who? Texas might be the 20th best team in the nation for real. If we gonna be honest. Bro, I agree with Kid. Bro, I agree with Kid with most of the teams he said, bro. Especially Ole Miss. I don't think they can hold a counter to Ole Miss right now. I don't think they'll beat Bama. I don't think they'll be A. Being honest, I don't think they'll be A&M.
You know what is funny about this conversation? What is very funny about this conversation? Nobody has said Indiana. Why is that?
I think them replacing their starting quarterback has a lot to do with that.
Mendoza was big for them.
Yeah, I think Mendoza. I think you can't
Excuse me? Okay, wait a minute. We only got about 3 minutes left in this before we got to get out of here. But you saying the starting quarterback is the reason why you are not going to put Indiana in that conversation when they arguably have the best coach in college football.
But what has Josh Hoover done?
This is the game. The same. Here is why I say this. because Kirby Smart gets so much leeway. He gets so much credit when there are questions about the offensive side of the football and the defensive side of the football. But Kirby Smart gets so much credit even when there are questions about Georgia coming into the season. He's only won 2 national championships. That's half of and Kurt Signetti has won 1. That's half of what Kirby has done. But nobody is giving Indiana a chance. But you brought up the fact that the quarterback is the reason why you're not giving them that chance. That is very interesting.
Let me get it first, Mark, because I got to do something.
That is very interesting.
Nobody thought Carson Beck was going to be there at Georgia, but go ahead.
Who didn't think? Oh,
how many times have we came in with that same story and seen Kirby work a little magic? Just a little bit of magic.
You just made my point. You just made my point. You just made my point because people forget that Indiana made the college football playoff in Kurt Signetti's first year. He lost at Penn State by like a touchdown or 10 points or something like that. I believe it was. Comes back and win the national championship the next year. Went out, got Josh Hoover from TCU to come be his quarterback this year. Went out and got some guys from Michigan State that are going to be coming in with Cooper. With Cooper at wide receiver to add some more receiver talent at that. When it upgraded his offensive line, when it also kept some of the guys on the defense side of the ball and upgraded defense side of the ball, and you're sitting here telling me that Indiana is not your top 10 team, and they just won the national championship last year.
I never said top 10.
That's the question. The question was, is Texas the number 1 team? And my question to you after that was, why isn't Indiana number 1 in that? And why hasn't anybody said Indiana?
Okay, so listen, we seen Kurt do it those 2 years with his players. We keep forgetting he actually started to bringing your own players onto the program. He brought a lot of players from JMU to that program, established that program, and built a national title team in 2 years. I give him all the props in the world for that. We haven't seen him do it like this, where he has a
he did it at JMU, bro. Just because he wasn't on the Power 4 level, he has showed proof of concept at schools that he's been that he could build winning programs and sustain winning programs. JMU is a program that is still sustaining the win, even when the coach has just left to go to UCLA. And
I agree with you, Nick.
I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
I was looking at Texas just from SEC perspective and saying I don't think they're the best team in the SEC. But if we go national, I'm gonna put Ohio State. I'm going to put Notre Dame. I'm going to put Oregon. I'm going to put all those teams ahead of Texas now. So Texas they might not even be in the top 10, bro. There's a lot of teams out there that I would put ahead of Texas. I don't see them AP number 1. No, not over Ohio State or Indiana or Oregon.
I feel like Dan Lannon been knocking on the door these last couple of years.
But hey, we've been saying it about Dan Lannon, and Dan Lannon been at Oregon for a little bit now. We've been saying it about him.
5 or 6.
Exactly.
But Ryan, they won in his 6th year.
But guess
Smart won in his 6th year.
But guess who won in the year 2?
Kurt Signetty.
Exactly. So my thing is, bro, we keep at some point in time, we're gonna have to stop looking at brands and start looking at coaches and what coaches are building. And I'm just gonna say this, bro. I'm gonna say this. I think he should get the same credence and the same credit and the same leeway that a Kirby Smart get. That's just my opinion.
I'm not calling him the number 1 team. I think he's going back to the playoffs, but I'm not calling him the number 1 team.
All right, man. Okay.
He's a better football coach. I'll give him that.
I'm just saying. I just found it amazing. Nobody said Indiana in that whole situation. That's the reason why I had to say that. That's it. Man, fellas, man, this has been a great show, man. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to everybody rocking with us here around the water cooler, man. We thank y'all so much, man. And what you guys say to people before we get up out of here, man? Dang, Ant. He ain't dropped out. He's still in. I don't know what it is. Kid Country, what you guys say to people before we get up out of here, my guy?
Hey man, I don't know what I want to say. I don't know what I want to say. Been had so much going on, man. Had some ceiling issues in the restaurant, so I'm gonna be closed temporarily for a while. So I keep y'all posted and updated on what's going on with that. But I know I'll be closed for a while. I just like to say, man, hey, it's great to see Marcus Fitzpatrick.
It is.
It's great to see your face.
Appreciate it, bro.
I was asking about you behind the scene, bro, because I was worried about you, but I'm glad to see you back on here and doing what you love to do, man. Just good to see your face, man. I mean that for real, because I was worried about you. And Nick, man, what my boy Marcus, man?
I was gonna say, kid, you had gave a long message, and at the time when you were giving the message, I didn't know it was for me, but sometimes God got a strange way of showing you what message is for you, man. When you were saying you were the leader of your village, I didn't think that message was for me, but it hit home right after that situation, and I had to take that time and I had to do what I had to do. So I appreciate that message, kid.
Yeah. Hey, that's what it's all about, man. Because we can come on and we can do this and we can do that, man. But kid live real life, and sometimes life hit, dog, and you just got to stand up and be the man. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you got people looking at you. And long as my village respect, long as I'm respected in my village, I don't give a damn about what outsider think. I'm a king in my village, man. And that's all I got to say. Kid out, man.
Shout out to
my brother too, man.
AKA Kid Country, man. Shout out to him, man, for rocking with us as well. Marcus, we got to say to people before we get up out of here, man.
Hey, man, happy to be back, man. Y'all be blessed, man. Catch my boy Nick in the morning. I'm gonna try to catch a morning show. I want to get on up because it be intense. But yes, catch my boy Nick in the morning and catch me back Wednesday, man. Until then, y'all be blessed and be safe, man.
Yes, pregame playlist tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, man. Make sure you check us out, man. We'll be talking everything, all sports across the whole sports landscape as well. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all don't mind, please go out and get DOICH, man. Go out and get DOICH. You see what I'm saying? I got it right here. You can see the ad for DOICH, man. It's cool right here. I got the chocolate chip dough one. I also have the birthday cake one right here. Like? Oh man, it tastes good, bro. This one is my favorite though. The brownie, the WTF brownie is my favorite. So hey man, go to DOICHfoods.com, use the discount code WCTS, and when you hit that, you get 20% off your order, man. So shout out to DOICH for sending that to me, man. Hey, I'm telling you, man, that brownie one is it. I'm just so you can see, I just got it today, and I've already eaten a nice little chunk of it right there, man. That thing is busting, bro. It's good. You can eat it just like this, or you can take it out and put it in like little cookies.
And that's what I was gonna say. I thought they were cookies. Okay, you just eating raw cookie dough. Okay,
you can eat it like that, or you can bake them. Either way, it's good, man. Yeah, that birthday cake one, the birthday cake one right here. I done ate a lot of that one too. So,
apparently, WTF ain't the only one hidden. Okay.
Shout out to him, bro. We appreciate it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Around the Cooler. We'll be back Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Back around the water cooler. But make sure you hit us up in the morning. Pre-game playlist, 9 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Your morning, your sports, your playlist. Shout out to Ed Darby in the chat. What's up, Ed? Thank you so much, man, for rocking with us. Great part. We'll see you on the next episode, fellas, man. King Richard in the chat saying, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, you all have a good one. Better yet, y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed, man. Make sure y'all give the man upstairs above his because he deserves all the praise and all the glory. Also, man, shout out to Rodney Williamson with the new Black Magic merch. Got the Black Magic merch. Yeah, man. Rodney Williamson with the Black Magic merch. We appreciate that so much, man. And Martin, last episode, man, as he did when he went out of the department for the last time, he wrote those words on the wall. Those words were one love. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank y'all so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We will see you when we see you, ladies and gentlemen. Check us out. Pre-game playlist tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. We out this mug. You all be easy. You all be blessed. Peace.
This has been a presentation of Water Cooler Talk Sports.